What's the crack, lads? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about testing my limit, which is the ranking event, which is pretty much weekend league, right? That EAFC have been doing for a long time, or FIFA, whatever you're still calling the game, over on Ultimate Team. It's this new ranking event. Now, it's been in eFootball before, right? Where you get rewards based on your rating at the end of it. This is a rating-based ranking event. You use your dream team. You can pick the same team every game. There's no cost for entering it. Now, obviously, if you guys have been playing UFL have actually got their own weekend league, which they're calling Weekend Showdown. So between this Weekend Showdown from UFL, which is free to play, and obviously now the Dream Team mode that they have in here, or the Dream Team event in eFootball, those are kind of like competing now for like weekend play, right? For when you guys are on. Now, I'm going to be straight up, lads. For you guys that have been watching me, you know I stream Monday, Thursday, and Fridays, and I do daily content on eFootball between cutting videos, editing videos, working on new content. I literally haven't even logged in. This is the first time me logging in all weekend. I was away Saturday, and I was working Saturday morning. And then we were away shopping Saturday, and then I'm only home now, right? So it's late Sunday evening here for me. You can see the matchmaking is going on for a couple of more hours, right? I literally haven't even logged into the game, let alone play this. So I don't really have a horse in the race in terms of like, this is what I'd like to improve, this is what I'd like to do. But I have been talking to a lot of people, and they've been telling me what they do and don't like, about this mode specifically, or this event specifically, right? But I just want to talk about it as kind of like a future, if it's going to be competing with the likes of UFL, which seem to be building on this, you know, week in, week out now, and it seems to be making it a big thing. Because let's be honest, most people, right, are going to be playing games on the weekend. Do you know what I mean? Like, the average player is going to be playing on the weekend. I'm not the average player, because I'm a content creator and whatever. I pretty much have my whole schedule based around, getting content out during the week, specifically on Mondays and Thursdays. So that's kind of when I spend most of my time playing the game. But most of my in real life friends, I mean, they don't game till like a Saturday evening or maybe a Sunday evening, when they finish work for the whole week or whatever, and they're working a traditional 9 to 5. So it is kind of difficult, I think, to game on during the week at a high level, especially when there's server issues and stuff like that. But that's where the weekend league comes down from it. But I want to talk about, right, I did a quick kind of look through this, and I'm kind of thinking, is there a better system that we could employ in this or enforce in this, right? Because from looking at this, it just seems to be, the people at the top of the leaderboard, it is kind of who has the most time to play. Now, obviously, we've got, guy at the top there. He's 99 games played, 3 draws, 3 losses. I mean, if that is a legit record, I mean, that is phenomenal with the way the game is. I mean, that is super, super focus mode, because trust me, I've beaten top 20 players in the game. I've also lost to Division 3 guys that have never got out of Division 3. This game is very inconsistent, especially with the servers, with the delay, with the input delay, with your players doing crazy things, the referee logic. I've done videos on it, of the gameplay changes that we need is coming up next, but I've also done changes or videos on in my live stream where I complain about issues and stuff like that. And also, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm like an esports professional level player, but yeah, you do see a lot of stuff in games. So if you're playing 100 games and only losing 3 and drawing 3, if that's legit, that is incredible, right? But the more I kind of looked at this, and I was kind of thinking, right, even the people in the top 20, like everybody in the top 20, bar 1 or 2, has pretty much played 40 plus games, right? Which is a lot of games. It's not a lot when you look at it if you're thinking you're going to sit down for the whole day and play, 8 to 10 hours back to back of games, right? Obviously, that is just, a really big decision you need to make if you want to play that many games, right? But I kind of did it out, right? And this is, lads, when there's lack of content in the game, this is where you need to go, man. I'm always reminded when I was doing this video, I'm reminded of your man in The Shining. Your man in The Shining, where he was like, all work and no play, make Jack a dull boy, or the episode of The Simpsons. Yeah, you know the one, but that's what I'm thinking of here, man. This is the levels we're driven to. But I just did a quick kind of calculation out, right? Because I am obviously into data, and I'm into kind of like, looking at things from a analytical point of view, right? 50 games, right? So if you take anybody that has played 50 games in this, and just to walk you through this, it's fairly self-explanatory. If you're to take 36 full-length matches, so that means, obviously with the way the matchmaking is here at the moment, right? You can see that the matchmaking ends in a minute. So if I want to go in and find a game in here now, I can go in and I can matchmake, right? It says the matchmaking process cannot be cancelled once started. Also, the antenna icon will not be displayed prior to the match. We'll get to that in a second, okay? But this matchmaking here that you see, once this hits 0, right, which I'll show you in a second when we're still recording this video, once this hits 0, it's reset to 5 minutes again. So why that's important is, with this timer, if you're looking for an accurate picture, this is taking in 36 full-length matches from when you go to matchmaking, which could take a minute or two, setting up your team, tactics, formation, using up all your pauses, because people do that, and they, think they're Jose Mourinho, to getting back out into the matchmaking again. And you hit this on the wrong side of the matchmaking, you could be waiting potentially another, 5 minutes. So say, for example, you end your match with like this, 10 seconds left on the matchmaking. So I'm finished my match, I've got my 3 points, and I'm ready to rock and roll again. But by the time I get back out, if I have the matchmaking ending in 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm just back at the menu now, I can't start. I literally can't start a match. I have to wait another 5 minutes. So that's why I've kind of rounded it up here. And that could have even been 20 minutes, but we've been fair, right? And that's just kind of a rough breakdown of 50 games, okay? And it just seems that, like, if you extend that out, you're talking about potentially over the course, just with those 50 games, and getting about 14 to 15 tap outs, which, to be honest, is quite high. I mean, if I play 10 games on stream, I usually get 2 tap outs, even if I'm up 5-6-0, maybe 3, depending on, what division it's in, okay? And these guys, most of them won't tap out if they still feel that they can get a win back. Unless you're up 3-4-0, then you'll get tap outs, okay? But that is pretty much half of the games that are going to be tapped out, which I don't think 50% of a tap out rate is actually, accurate, to be fair, right? But my biggest thing is, right, if we're going to be doing a testing my limit like this, I honestly don't know how to make it, like, more fair. Like, should it be done in your best 15 matches? Should it be done that it's like, right, if you've got somebody that can play 100 matches, like if you extend this out to 100 games using this, formula here, and you just extrapolate this out, right? You're talking about roughly 11 hours for 50 games. You're talking about double that for 100 games, which is 22 hours, right? Now, I'm not saying that somebody couldn't do 3 days of, spamming 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours to get their 100 matches, but it is a hell of a commitment to do that every weekend. And especially when you look at the rewards, man. I mean, to get rank 1 here, this guy, is it going to be worth, in my opinion, is it going to be worth 100 select booster tokens and 10 skill trainers? I mean, now obviously you get everything else as well. You get everything with this as well. But I just feel, man, like, yeah, I just feel like that the rewards definitely don't, I just feel like they don't really reward. Like, if it was a card or whatever, these badges, man, I don't pay any heed to these badges. You know what I mean? Obviously, if you get a top 10 in this, it is, intimidating if you're looking at the badges and paying any heed to them and using them as an ego boost. But I honestly, man, the badges are a good idea. But if they're not tied to rewards, I don't really want to know about it, man. I don't use any of the badges. Pretty much now, the novelty's worn off. But let me know what you guys think. Is there a fair system? I'm trying to get a bit of feedback for it, and I'll explain a bit later in a future video after into the new year, right? Once we're into 2025. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you did get a ranking in this, and we will talk to you in a bit. Peace.